In 2007, a man went headfirst into a great white shark's mouth and punched his way out alive. Not a metaphor. Not a movie. Eric Nerhus, Australian abalone diver, 41 years old, was swallowed from the head to the hip by a 10-foot great white, and he reached up inside the shark's mouth and drove his thumb into its eye socket. The shark let go. Eric swam to the surface with a crushed wetsuit and 72 stitches. Today we're covering the most brutal, most documented 1v1 fights between single humans and the deadliest predators in the ocean. Stories where the person had no backup, no weapon, and no realistic reason to survive. But they did. 3 encounters, 3 completely different predators, and 3 fights that should not have ended the way they did. Let's start with Eric's story in full, because the details are more insane than the headline. Eric was diving off Cape Howe, New South Wales, early morning, February 2007. He was 10 meters underwater collecting abalone when the shark hit him from behind at full speed. No warning. No circling. The shark's momentum carried Eric's entire upper body, head, shoulders, chest, inside its jaws in a single movement. Inside a great white's mouth, visibility is 0. The jaws exert 4,000 pounds per square inch of pressure. Eric had his dive weight belt on. The metal plate of it jammed against the shark's lower jaw and kept the bite from closing completely. That 1 inch of steel saved his spine. In the dark, underwater, in the mouth of a great white, Eric didn't freeze. He felt for the eye socket with his right hand, found it, and pushed. Sharks have a reflex called the tonic immobility response. Pressure on the eyes can trigger it, causing temporary paralysis. This shark didn't go into tonic immobility. It released him because the pressure on its eye caused enough pain to override its hunting drive. Eric surfaced. His son, also in the water, pulled him onto the boat. He had a crushed sternum, puncture wounds through his wetsuit, and compression injuries from the jaws, but he was alive, coherent, and described the whole thing to rescuers while waiting for the helicopter. He went back diving the following year. Now the second story, and this one is a different kind of predator, a different kind of ocean, and a fight that lasted over an hour. Paul Marshalsea, a Welsh charity worker, was on a beach in Queensland, Australia in 2012. Not diving, not fishing, walking on the beach. A bull shark beached itself in shallow water while chasing baitfish and was thrashing in less than a foot of water near children playing at the shoreline. Bull sharks are responsible for more unprovoked attacks on humans than any other species. They can survive in fresh water, they hunt in murky conditions, and they are not cautious around people. Paul waded in, grabbed the shark's tail fin with both hands, and dragged it back out to sea. The shark thrashed violently the entire time. A bull shark out of water is still a full weapon. Its tail can break a human leg. Its jaws can still close. Paul held on, walked backward through the surf, and released it in deeper water. He walked back up the beach, soaking wet, and went back to what he was doing. He later said he wasn't trying to be brave. He just didn't want the kids on the beach to see the shark die. What Paul did should not have worked, and marine biologists who reviewed the footage said the same thing. Bull sharks have been known to spin 180 degrees to bite whatever's holding them. This one didn't. Luck, stress response, or the specific grip. Nobody fully agrees on why, but he came out of it with nothing except wet clothes and a story his local Welsh newspaper almost didn't believe enough to publish. Third story, and this one goes somewhere completely different. Not a shark, not a beach. Rodney Fox. Spearfishing competition, South Australia, December 1963. Rodney was leading the competition when a great white hit him from the side at full speed. It grabbed his torso, dove with him, then let go when Rodney shoved his arm down its throat to reach its gills. The shark took off. Rodney floated up. His entire rib cage was exposed. His spleen, lungs, and stomach were visible through the wound. His hand, which he'd used to reach into the shark, had punctures through the palm. He was held together by his wetsuit. On the boat, the crew wrapped him in the wetsuit like a bandage to keep him from losing internal organs and drove at full speed to shore. Rodney received 462 stitches in a 4.5-hour surgery. He survived. And here's the part that makes this story something more than just a survival story. Rodney Fox became one of the world's leading great white shark researchers. He designed the first shark observation cage. He spent the rest of his career arguing that great whites are not mindless killing machines, that the attack on him was a case of mistaken identity, that the shark released him the moment it realized he wasn't prey. The man the shark nearly killed became the man who spent 60 years protecting sharks from humans. The ocean's most dangerous predators, great whites, bull sharks, crocodiles, giant squid, are not hunting people. Every researcher, every diver, every survivor says the same thing. The encounters happen because humans enter their world and the predator reacts. Eric, Paul, Rodney, none of them were targeted. All three of them walked back into the ocean afterward. If you want the next story in this series, the video on the top 5 saltwater crocodile encounters is already on the channel, and one of those involves a man who survived a death roll by biting the crocodile back. Go find out if it worked.